Cos, are we ready? Cos. Okay. Let us, because people are joining us live now, so we can now start with introduction before we'll read out the decision of this strategic special meeting we held this morning.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman, Deputy, Honorable colleagues, gentlemen and women of the press. My name is Honorable Engineer Dominic Ifanchukwu, a fellow of Nigeria Society of Engineers, and I represent the good people of Agota Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State and a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Chairman, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Kabiru Sumakama. I represent the good people of Akademiki Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Chairman, I am from Bauchi State, and then I am a member of this important committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Deputy, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Joe Sunday Makajola, Honorable representing Oguluwa Surulere Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Oyo State, this Central State. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, Deputy Chairman, Right Honorable colleagues. Namdezech is my name, and I represent the oil-rich federal constituency, the most richest oil and gas producing federal constituency in Delta States, and if not South. Representing Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West, and Ndokwa federal constituency of Delta States. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, invited guests, my name is Honorable Yusuf Magdati, member representing the good people of Kura, Modobi, and Garumana Fara constituency. I'm from Kano State, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
My chairman, my colleagues, Deputy Chairman, my name is Honorable Umar Oba, representing good people of Yawuri, Shanga, and Gaske constituency from Kebbi State.
Mr. Chair, respected colleagues, the Secretariat, Chair, my name is Honorable Dr. Ahmed Adamu Saba. I'm from Kwara State and I represent the people of Ejugmore and Federal Constituency, a member of this committee. Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Deputy Chairman, distinguished colleagues, press, Honorable Muhammad Mukhtar Zanan Kazauri, member representing Kazauri Roni Gwiwa Yankwashi Federal Constituency. I'm from Jigawa State.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Deputy, honorable colleagues. I'm Honorable Salim Hussein Ahmed. I represent Kaduna South Federal Constituency. I'm from Kaduna State. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Chair, distinguished colleagues, the Secretariat, the press, I remain Rep. Marie Inenimete Ibikake, representing the peace-loving people of Brass Lembe Federal Constituency and from Bayelsa State.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy, my distinguished colleagues, the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Honorable Barrister Blessing Chigeru Amade, representing the good people of Port Harcourt Federal Constituency 2, River State, and Ikore Woman.
Thank you, Chairman, honorable colleagues. My name is Hart Cyril Godwin. I represent the fabulous people of Boni, Degema Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I am from the most peaceful state. I am from River State. Mr. Chairman, Deputy, my distinguished colleagues, I remain Dauda Zafari Nyampa, member representing the people of Madagascar, Deputy Chairman of the constituency. I'm from Adamawa State. Thank you, Mr.
Honorable Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Deputy, Honorable colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, Akitunde Rotimi Jr., I represent the people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency, which comprises Ikoli and other local governments. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Chairman, Honorable colleagues of our clerk, invited gentlemen of the press, I am Lawal Shetima Ali, representing the amiable people of Bursari, Gaidam, Unusari Federal Constituency, and from Yobe State, Pride of the Sahel.
Mr. Chairman, Deputy, my honorable colleague, my name is Sheyi Shomi, representing the Federal Constituency from Lagos State. Mr. Chairman, Deputy Chairman, my honorable colleagues, Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Sawar, I represent the good people of Oriamo, the Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Benin Chief. Thank you.
Thank you. I will chair the Deputy, Honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Hissam Ahmad Anka. I represent Anka Talata Mafara constituency. I'm from Zamfara State. Thank you.
Honorable Chairman, House Committee of the Honorable Associates, Downstream, Deputy Chairman, my highly respected Honorable colleagues, clerk of this very important committee, ladies and gentlemen, I am Salis Yusuf Majidiri, representing Mashi Federal Constituency, Mr. Chairman, I am from Katsina State. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the Deputy, distinguished colleagues, clerk of the Secretariat, gentlemen of the press, I remain Honorable Engineer Sesoja, member representing the good people of Vandikia Constitutional Federal Constituency. I'm of Benue State. Thank you.
Chairman, Vice Chairman, my colleagues, members of the press, I am Right Honorable Ambassador James Shoaibu Barga. I am from Adamawa State and I represent
Our Chairman, Deputy, Honorable colleagues, Secretariat, clerk, members of the press, good morning. My name is Honorable Ambassador Peter Ifani Uzokwe. I speak for the good people of Newi North, the Japanese capital of Nigeria, Newi South, and the Usigo Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I come from Anambra State. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Chairman, Honorable colleagues, the Secretariat, my name is Right Honorable Engineer Hamis Ibrahim. I represent Dambata Makoka Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I am from Kano State. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chairman. My brother, the Deputy Chairman, the most loyal Deputy Chairman, humble and handsome, my dear honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Umar Ajilo. I'm a member representing the valuable people of Magharibi Kudan Federal Constituency. I am coming from Kaduna State. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, very humble Deputy Chairman, clerk and the secretariat, respected honorable members of the press. I am Honorable Engineer Idu Emeka Chi. I represent the cosmopolitan and commercial city of Onitsha North and Onitsha South Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State.
Thank you. Thank you. And good morning, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy, my dear colleagues. My name remains Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. I represent Nigerians through the good people of Isukwato and Umunnochi Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Abia State. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Chairman, distinguished colleagues, our clerk, secretariat, the press. My name is Honorable Peter Peter the Rock. I represent the good people of Anambra East, Anambra West Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Anambra State. Thank you.
The Chairman and our able Deputy Chairman, honorable colleagues, the clerk and the secretariat, the press. My name is Honorable Ambassador Daniel Asma, and I represent the people of Basa Jos North Federal Constituency. Of course, I'm from Plateau State, still insisting a home of peace and tourism.
Our able chairman, my honorable colleagues, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I am Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi, member representing the good and peaceful people of Ikara, Kubo Federal Constituency. By the grace of God and the will of the Speaker, I'm serving as the Deputy Chairman of the Petroleum Resources Downstream. Thank you.
From Kaduna State.
No, it's Nigerian. He's representing Nigeria.
No, your brother has already introduced you.
Yes, he even add handsome to
the most handsome. The most handsome vice chairman.
Yes, he even added handsome.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished colleagues and gentlemen of the press, for joining us this morning. For the last few days, we have been brainstorming as a committee to strategically set the roadmap for the activities of the Downstream Petroleum Committee that is aimed at ensuring energy stability for all Nigeria. So I welcome you all for joining us for this breakfast meeting that has come to an end, and the decisions that have been reached by the committee is what I also want to communicate to you, so that you will also follow us as we go to the next stage of our activities. My name is Ikenga Imo Virginia, represent Ida North and South Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State and Chairman Downstream Petroleum Committee. Honorable Maybe, you're welcome.
Thank you, my
Okay, so the meeting arrived at setting up technical subcommittees in the Downstream Petroleum Committees to draw the frameworks for the final committee decisions on these subject matters before they are also presented on the floor of the House for ratification. The first issue that the committee looked at is the committee also was worried about the outcome of the turnaround maintenance of the refinery, considering the amount of money that was spent, and then after the jubilation and celebration by Nigerians, including their president, who weren't happy to now hear again that there was need to shut down few weeks after operation, and also confused when we now heard about sale being also considered. So the committee agreed this morning to look into the state of the refinery to find out what happened, because public fund was paid. It's a company, but the assets of the company still belongs to the Nigerian people, and they are asking us questions, and the committee have received series of petitions which they have decided to handle to find out the state of the refinery, the turnaround maintenance, The company involved was a company that was said to have reputable international history. Is it that they failed in the project, or is it there's something that we don't know? So as a representative of the people, the committee resolved to look into the state of the refineries and find out what happened before we even talk about selling it, because we must find out what happened. Because all of us celebrated when it started work, and there are people who were responsible for oversighting it from the company as at that moment, and they assured us that everything was going on very well. So we need to know what happened and why is it not running and why is sell on the table. These are the issues, including also what is a sustainable way of having it. Do we need it? Do we need to be privatized? Is there a need for partnership and so on and so forth? This is what the framework the subcommittee will draw up, and then we'll take a decision and then we'll present before Parliament. And also I want to, before I proceed, ask members, is this a true reflection of what was discussed? Then secondly, the committee, after receiving petitions and protests here about the non-completion of the investigation that was ordered by the House for reinvestigation of the circumstances surrounding the acquisition of OVH Energy. And that referral has been with us for some months now. So the committee also resolved this morning to complete that directive of the House to reinvestigate the matter. It had been investigated before, but the Parliament in its wisdom rejected the first report and asked for detailed work to be carried. And in order to lay these circumstances surrounding that acquisition and the accusations and counter-accusation, and to enable the state, oil company and other stakeholders concentrate on the tax ahead, the committee deemed it fit to bring this to an end by looking into it and finally making its report. Is this a reflection of what the committee discussed? Also, the committee also received complaint from modular refinery owners over the non-availability or sufficiency of lack of sufficiency of feedstock for their modular refineries, and also complaints from other refinery owners about the bottlenecks in securing crude, who felt as representative of the people that our people believe that since we are a producer of crude, that any bottleneck that will stop the refineries from having access to this crude should be removed. It's on that note that the committee felt worried that up till now, modular refinery owners are still complaining about lack of feedstock for them to be able to carry out their refining activities. And looking at the provision of the PIA that demands for mandatory obligation for a certain percentage of crude that is produced to be given to be set aside for domestic refining, and also taking into consideration the issue of willing buyer, willing seller, the committee resolved to look into this to find a permanent and sustainable solutions so that those who want to invest can have confidence to invest, and not in that you go and spend billions of dollars to build a refinery, whether modular or big refinery, and then you cannot have the feedstock to run it. So that complaint for the modular refinery and that of the big refineries was agreed to look into it. And also we received complaints from some of them that even when the issue of willing buyer, willing seller, you want to buy, and then the producers will refer you to their trading office in Switzerland, the committee didn't quite understand why for you to do that transaction for a crude that is produced in Nigeria, you need to go to the air-conditioned parlors in Switzerland and Dubai to sign a trading agreement before you can access that. So all these things are also part of the things that's creating bottleneck. Plus the mother refineries that are receiving what is not sufficient enough to power their plant. We felt that in our quest to have energy security and at the same time energy commercialization, that these issues should be addressed, and that's why the committee agreed to draw the framework to the technical committee to find a way to find permanent solution to these issues, whether it's amendment, whether it's resolutions, whether it's engagement with stakeholders. That is what the committee will also come up with. Is this a true reflection of the decision of the committee this morning? Also, the committees have also received numerous complaints, accusation and counter-accusations from refinery owners, whether modular or big refineries, from marketers of petroleum products, from retailers of petroleum products. Some have said, we spend so much money building infrastructure, we spend so much money building the modular refineries, building the big refineries, and if importation is allowed, it will kill their business, and it might also affect more people investing in the sector. Marketers have also said the conditions given to them to engage with the refiners are also not favorable for their business, and they have also spent so much money building infrastructure for storage, for transportation, and so on and so forth, and you cannot run them out of business. Now, retailers and transporters have also raised concerns about refiners of petroleum products, the fear that they may engage in retailing. So these things have created tension in the industry and concern, and have led to different struggles and name callings left, right, and center. And in order to continue to maintain energy stability and energy security, the committee resolved this morning to draw a legal framework, a legislative legal framework that will resolve and provide sustainable solution to these issues. The format of that resolution is what the committee will come up, whether it's in form of amendment of the PIA, whether it's in form of suggestion of the model of electricity generating company, whether it's in the form of suggesting the formulas the NAFTA people are using with pharmaceutical companies and so on and so forth. The committee have agreed that they will get every stakeholder together, because everybody has a case he's making. But we also have the interest of the country at the center of our hearts. People cannot spend money building refineries, and then at the end of the day, we return back to the days where we used to have Tesla importations that can kill it. And at the same time, those who have built the refinery can also not run every other person in that value chain of business. There must be a sustainable way for everybody to tap in, both those who have refineries, both those who are into marketing, both those who are into retailers, to ensure that this chain is maintained like we have in electricity generation, and to de-escalate this tension, protecting the interests of the country, ensuring that there's energy stability without anything affecting it. So the committee resolved to look into this allegation of issue of that has to do with marketers, that has to do with transporters, that has to do with refinery owners. So is this a reflection of the decision of the committee this morning? Also, the committee also resolved to fast track the referral that has to do with issue of incorporation of artisanal miners into the petroleum refining value chain. There have been arguments for and against. Some say that some of those artisanal miners are causing environmental damages. Some say they are stealing the crude. Some say they don't have the technical capacity to engage in refining. Some say, are we going to throw away the skill that have been developed by these people who, without adequate infrastructure, is refining this product? All these are issues that have been brought to our attention, and the Parliament has asked us to look into. So the committee will look into it to find what is realistic and what is legal and what is technical to help the country. Is this a reflection of what was discussed? Also, the referral from the House also agreed this morning to fast track the issue of the abandonment of the biomass ethane project in Benue by the NNPC, which have also been referred to, which have also communicated to the company to update on, because these are investments that were made with public funds. These are investments that can also help us in alternative energy generation. So we agreed to fast track it also and get back to the House so that this can also help in solving our energy needs. It is a reflection of what we discussed. Also, because of challenges that have arisen in the implementation of the PIA, no legislation anywhere in the world is perfect. It's a going concern. You keep amending and adjusting. There have been series of areas of conflict, areas of disputes, and areas that have stapled commercializations or stability in the PIA, going by concerns that we have received from stakeholders in the downstream and other associated sectors that we are dealing with, and that have necessitated us to agree this morning to set up also a technical committee that will work so swiftly to arrive at those recommended areas that need to be touched, that will help to strengthen the downstream sector and create stability. Even on the issue of domestic good obligation to be very specific on some of those issues, on issues that has to do with the dwindling revenue that the NNDPRA is going through, how to raise those revenue, how to make their work efficient, and how to secure the investment of those, whether they are investing in gas distribution network, whether they are building refineries, whether they are into different form of business that is helping in the downstream sector, how to be able to help them to consolidate their business. This necessitated the need for the areas of amendment to be harmonized and jointly sponsored by the committee so that the parliament can have a look at it to help us achieve energy stability. It is a true reflection of what was discussed this morning. Then also, in order to ensure a situation where we have constant and sustainable avenue for communication and engagement with critical stakeholders in the downstream committee, in the downstream sector, the committee agreed this morning to float the first of its kind, the annual Downstream Petroleum Week, which is an interaction that involves lawmakers of the downstream petroleum sectors and other key stakeholders and key players in the petroleum industry, our regulator NNDPRA, marketers, retailers, transporters, gas infrastructure providers, all key stakeholders to interface with lawmakers, with the regulator, so that any issue, we look at the sources where we have excelled. Then we look at what are the challenges, like some of these challenges we are seeing. Once we sit at the Downstream Week here in the Parliament, which will be holding every year, then we meet with the regulator. So if there's any complaint by the marketers, any complaint by the refinery owners, any complaint from the retailers, any complaint by anybody, the ones that require legislative attention, we tackle it headlong. The ones that require regulatory and administrative action, the regulator is sitting across the table, we agree on it, and everybody will be happy, and the industry will continue to maintain peace and stability. It's on that note that the committee agreed to float the annual Downstream Week, which will be holding every year, October 2nd. The first one will hold this October 2nd, to enable key stakeholders in the downstream petroleum sector have an interface with lawmakers, with regulators at the same time, and be able to smoothly address concerns in the downstream sector. Is this a true reflection of this meeting? Also, yes, those concerns that have been raised by importers of petroleum products on sustainability of their business, and those concerns that have been raised by refinery owners that we cannot invest and then you are importing finished product which will run us out of business, which is also a very legitimate concern, and that of the retailers and also the transporters. The committee dealt extensively this morning on them and said there must be a win-win, but the greatest win will be national interest. How do we ensure energy stability? How do we ensure attraction of foreign investment? Because you cannot be looking for investors, which is increasing today in downstream. Multiple investments is coming both in gas infrastructure, both in petrol refinery, both in petrochemical plants. And then if those investors feel that the market is not secure, the alternative for them, they will not put those investments, and then we're going to go back to what we used to have before. But at the same time, we have people working with these marketers. We have our people who have jobs there. We have our infrastructure they have built. How do we draw a synergy to put everybody in a sustainable value chain that will see a win-win? There will be no job loss. The refineries will continue to operate and have their market, and then the marketers will be able to transit to a system to understand that the country cannot continue to import. The country cannot continue to import. There must be a sustainable solutions to these concerns, but nobody is going to take it all or have it all. And that is why the committee is drawing the first legal framework, the legislative framework and suggestion which will be presented to the larger house to find a sustainable solution to this crisis, so that key stakeholders in the downstream sector can have return on their investment, and the nation will be the big winner. Is this a true reflection of what was discussed this morning? Also, the committee also decided to dismiss the petition calling for dissolution of the NNDPRA and the regulatory body. And this is born out of the fact that we are framers of the PIA. We made those provisions. We created Section 14 sub-C that talks about tenure of job. It is at the mercy of the president at the end of tenure. If he does not want to reappoint anybody, the president exercises that right and power not to reappoint the person. But we cannot go to what we used to have during the DPR era, where there was leadership instability, policy inconsistency. Before pre-PIA, the investment you have today in the downstream sector, both the upstream and the downstream sector, which is in the neighborhood of over $20 billion now. You never had a choice. There was nobody that was coming to invest when there used to be DPR and so on. So it was a trading market there. But today, you can see the gas infrastructure. People have taken gas distribution license, they are building infrastructure. Modular refineries are almost about 8 or 9 now running. Petrochemical plants are now running. Big refineries are now running. More petrol-related infrastructures is springing left, right, and center because the market is very clear. The policy is very clear. The process is very transparent. That is one of the key things the last administration and the present administration has also sustained to keep that clarity in the petroleum industry. So going by that, we cannot go after 20 years or thereabout of fighting to make the PIA, then we'll now return it back to whereby if there's any change of regime, somebody comes and says sack everybody. When you start sacking people left, right, and center, policy starts to change. But if anybody is found wanting or haven't committed any offense, we are not defending the person. The relevant security agencies should be able to handle that particular issue. So it's on that ground that the committee dismissed the petition calling for the removal of the NNDPRA boss, Omar Farouk, and Komala for the NUPRC, saying that we must stick to tenure as provided by the PIA, and if anybody has offended the law, that should be dealt separately with the relevant security agencies. But stability of tenure and stability of policy and stability of process in the petroleum sector must be guided jealously so that we don't go back to the era of the pre-PIA. Is this a true reflection of the decision of the committee? So on that note, the committee decision has been fully communicated to the public, and I will urge the gentlemen of the press to spare us with asking questions today. The reason is very simple. Some of these issues are sensitive issues which we may not want to get into further discussing until we have heard from all stakeholders and have been able to formulate our own framework, so that we don't make comments that will lead to loss of confidence in the process that we have started. And also because it's a political season, so we don't get involved in what does not concern why we are here. So when the committee starts its work, which will be full, robust work and discussions, the media will be there to ask all the questions they want to ask. But today is not a question and answer day. Today is to communicate the decision of the committee, so the progress of what the committee is doing to stabilize the downstream sector. This was the decision of the committee, and I want you gentlemen of the press to also respect that. Is this also a reflection of the decision of the committee? At this point, I will call on Honorable Nampa. Honorable, this one I'll call on you to move that this meeting be adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My elder brother, Laman Shetima, I wave that line to you.
Mr. Chairman, having exhausted all what we have on the other paper, I, Laman Shetima Ali, representing the good people of Bursali, Gaiden Miruzali Beres constituency, I hereby move that this meeting should be adjourned. Senadai, sir? Senadai. And thank you for my dear brother. Who have come there in the
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my deputy, my dear colleagues. My name is Honorable Kumar Ajilo, member representing Makati constituency from the state. I like to second the motions of adjournment every by my elder brother. I so second, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Those in support that the meeting be adjourned, Senator, Aye. Those against?
Against are not here.
No. And I want to apologize. We didn't give Honorable Maria and Adi. I'm sorry about that. Let them say something. Say hi. Say something. Sit down.
Mr. Chairman, the deputy, dear colleagues, I'm happy that you've noticed that you did not bother about gender. Nevertheless, I came in, what I saw was the first of its kind. Mr. Chairman, I want to commend you, especially the breakfast. So you mean, it's more like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, dear colleagues, it turned out to quite impressive. Thank you very much. I hope we are going to maintain this tempo. Please, I'm appealing that we should maintain this tempo. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The representative of the promotion committee in our meeting, Matthew, will welcome you. I didn't see when you walked in.
Mr. Chairman, I remain honorable attorney Matthew. What are you saying, Chairman, I'm happy to meet you at the tail end of this meeting. Or just returning to
Thank you, distinguished honorable colleagues. With this, we come to the end of the special meeting of the Petroleum Committee Downstream. Thank you all for coming.
Everybody should go to the chamber.
Welcome back.
Tasty, something to fill my belly. I want my golden penny noodles.
All right, I'm taking you from Ogun State to Kogi State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst the governor of Kogi State, Mr. Ahmed Usman Ododo. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you. We have with us a governor who wears multiple hats. Apart from being a governor, he's also a farmer. So I'm delighted to introduce and recognize today the governor of Niger State, His Excellency, Farmer Dr. Mohammed Umar Bago. A round of applause for him. Thank you for joining us.
Well,
he's not in the room yet, but I think I was just too excited because he's also a farmer. When he comes, we'll do the recognition again. But thank you, in absentia, he will join us very shortly and we'll recognize him again.
Well, Moji, if you talk about the Gateway State, I can tell you that I boast of many governors here seated. I have here in our midst, ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Governor of the foremost state in Nigeria, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Amzat.
All right, we also have with us, we have, of course, it's a mixture of public and private sector, so we'll do the recognitions interchangeably and recognize our partners in progress who are also